What's up, minions? Lex DeVille here, and in this video, I'm going to share the top 4 ways to trigger a flood of Upwork invitations right now. These are things that I've tested. If that's something you are interested in, stick around.
Hey minions, if you're new to the channel and you like what I have to say, then be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss a video. Only do this if you like what I have to say and if you want to hear more about freelancing, entrepreneurship, and personal world domination.
For those who don't know me, I'm Lex DeVille, and on this channel we help you escape corporate prison and build a freelance empire. We share lots of freelance tips and tutorials, so if you're new, consider subscribing. In our most recent video, we did a breakdown of the basics of SEO. What do you actually need to know when you are a freelance writer? What do you need to know about SEO? So go check that out. It's going to be right up there, and it's going to show you just my thought process on that, the only things that I've ever needed to know. It's not that much, it's pretty simple, but I'll show you it and go check that out. In this video, we're going to share, and I'm going to reveal the 4 ways, let me see if I can get that on there, 4 ways that I have been triggering Upwork to send me a flood of invitations, like a literal flood. I probably have more Upwork invites than anyone out there at this point. It's insane, and I'll even show you that right here on the screen. You can see I've been invited almost 60 times just in the last week or two, and just so many invitations coming in that I'm not applying, of course, to any kind of gigs right now. Well, actually, I did apply to one the other night, but I'm trying to sort out like who are the exact best people for me now, because I can't work with all of them, and I don't want to run as an agency. I just want to find the exact right people. There are some things that I found that will trigger Upwork's algorithms to send you a freaking flood of invitations really fast. It's triggering Upwork to promote you in different ways, and there's 4 of them. So I guess we'll just go ahead and dive in with those, with number 1 being that you are going to switch from a private to a public profile. Now, this may seem obvious. Most of you probably don't have a private profile. Some of you will if you have been set to private. For a long time, I was operating with a private profile only, so that I could make sure that my proposal process was working and make sure that other people weren't stealing stuff from me, and that was a benefit to me. So I actually see private profiles as a benefit in a lot of ways, because it forces you to come up with new ways to send proposals, to be creative with them, and to say things that are going to get clients to respond. But what I have found over and over and over again is that each time when I set my profile from private over to public, or if you were to pay for that feature, which you can pay for it with Upwork Plus. I think Upwork Plus is crap and basically worthless, except for that one reason. Once you get switched over to a public profile, you will usually get several invites back to back. And I think that it's because Upwork is promoting you. They're saying, hey, this person just became publicly available. Let's give them a little bit of a push and see what happens. So they boost you a little bit. They promote you out to clients who are posting jobs, and you will start to see invitations from that. Number 2, the second way is, and this has been tested again and again, is either decreasing or increasing or decreasing your rates by roughly usually it's $20 per hour. That's usually what I test. So $20 per hour up or $20 per hour down. Test either of those, leave it for about a week, and once it's normalized within their system, it seems like they push you out, they promote you again at these new rates. And the reason I think $20 is usually the amount to go is because that usually will push you into a different pricing bracket. So when Upwork clients are searching for different skills, they will use the little filters that are off to the side. And one of those filters that they can choose from is freelancers who earn within different price ranges. So I don't recall what they are. I don't have it up on my screen, but it's like, let's say $10 to $20 price range, $20 to $50 price range, $50 to $100 and $100 or higher per hour. They can sort between those different options. So by setting yourself up $20 higher in your rates per hour, or decreasing them by $20 per hour, you move into different pricing tiers usually. And whenever you move into those different pricing tiers, it seems to trigger their algorithm to boost you and promote you a little bit, because now you're in a new place. Now, this doesn't happen immediately necessarily. It takes a few days sometimes. Usually, I recommend when people are changing their rates that you stick with your new rates for at least 2 weeks, maybe even up to 3 weeks, to see if it takes that long to start getting new invitations. An additional benefit to doing this is that once you move into those different tiers, you also tend to show up in search results a little bit differently. So once it normalizes, once it stabilizes and Upwork knows where you're at and you're staying in that place, then maybe you show up in search results and get found and get invited to gigs that way as well. So be thinking about that. Number 3, funding milestones, and specifically newly funded milestones, but I think all funded milestones. I'm not real sure on that one yet. So let's say at least newly funded milestones. When you bring a new client in, they're talking with you, you've interviewed with them, you're starting a contract, and you get them to put money in a milestone. This seems to be triggering invitations for me and sending more people to me, getting me promoted out there. Upwork says, oh, wow, you brought us some money. It's in there. Let's push you out and see if you can capture some more of these people, some more of the clients, and get more money from them. That's going to benefit us. So the more of these that you can take, and usually if you are taking invitations, if you're getting invitations from the other approaches that we've already discussed, then you can start to accept those. You can get some money into a milestone, and that should help you boost the algorithm or trigger the algorithm to boost your promotions in front of clients and get more invitations. Number 4, this is probably the most obvious. It makes the most sense, but every single time that you get paid, and this could be, it seems to work 2 different ways. So either a client releasing the milestone so that it is released out to you and you can get paid that way, or if the payment reaches the 14-day window and then you put it into your bank account. Either of those works. I don't know about hourly gigs. I don't do any hourly work. For those of you who've been around here a while, I don't do any hourly whatsoever. But I assume that it probably works similarly. If you are getting paid regularly, getting hourly deposits, probably once that money hits your bank account, once it transfers out of Upwork and leaves and goes into your bank account, that's probably when it triggers the algorithm. But again, I don't do any hourly, so I have no insights on that part. But for fixed rates, whenever the milestone gets released, that seems to trigger invitations, as well as if the milestone doesn't get released but eventually passes that 14-day window, goes into the pending, and then eventually goes into your bank account, that is triggering another flood of invitations. And because for me, I'm combining several of these, mostly I'm combining funding of new milestones and funding of and getting paid released milestones, those 2 things happening in rapid succession, I'm getting a lot more invites, and I get more and more invites, and then I take those invites, and then I have more gigs, more milestones funded, triggers more invites. So it keeps happening, and that's how I've got so many invites over the past couple of weeks. It's pretty incredible. I've never seen Upwork work quite like this. I mean, I've always had invitations in the past, but I've never been so efficient at capturing invitations and triggering the algorithm and pulling more people into me. There's a bonus one that I want to talk about real quick. This doesn't necessarily trigger the algorithm, but it will help increase your invitations. So the bonus thing that you can do is to, I would say, niche down, but getting up to the top of your search term. If you are number 1 for your search term, then you, and that by that I mean your skill set. So whatever the thing is you do, maybe you are a Webflow web designer, if that's your thing, if you can get to the top of search results for that, that's going to help you significantly to get invitations. And that's another thing that I've recently done. So we can talk about this in another video, but SEO and the algorithms for ranking for SEO and stuff has changed, and I'm going to be updating this in Freelance University as well in my new Upwork proposal or Upwork profile course that is going to be it's going to start coming out later this week. But recently I was not at the top. I wasn't even showing up on the search terms over the past couple of months for my search term. And then I made some changes and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Now I'm number 1. Number 1 for brand copywriting, number 1 for NLP brand copywriting, number 1 for anybody who searches for that worldwide, not just within the United States. And because I'm at the top, it means I'm the first person clients see. And because my profile is better than all the other profiles, not only do they see me first, but they see an amazing profile right there. And there's no reason to go beyond. There's no reason to choose anybody else. So they invite me immediately. And even some of them are just sending offer requests or just sending hire this person. Like, they don't even need to talk to me up front. They want to hire me. And the reason they want to do it quickly is because what Upwork is showing to them on my profile, when somebody sees it, it's saying this freelancer's been invited 58 times recently. They're going to get hired soon. It creates an element of scarcity. It creates an element of need to act fast, and it's a rush for them. So they go in and they invite me, and it starts the whole pattern over again because I accept every invite. By the way, that's a pro tip. You should be accepting every invitation you get. Do not deny invitations. Do not decline invitations. Do not pass your invitations off to somebody else. Even if it's not a fit for you, go ahead and accept the invitation. You can even accept it and say, hey, thanks for the invite, but I don't think this is a fit for me. Still accept it, because when you accept it, you're going to get 10 connects. Upwork is going to give you connects for accepting invitations, each invitation you accept. So that's just a little tip there. That is why I have, 60 to 80 connects right now, even though I've got too many invitations and can't even handle them all. I've got so many connects, so many invitations, and that's how it works together. You accept every invitation, then you filter through which ones you want, get rid of the ones you don't, take the connects so that you can apply to gigs if nothing feels right for you, and then you just build up your connect base while having lots of invitations and triggering the algorithm. One cool thing lately is that Upwork has actually been sending pretty relevant clients to me, and I've actually been taking on more and more of the clients that I'm getting invited by because they just seem like a good fit. That's something that really never happened in the past, but now Upwork seems to be directing good people to me. Let me know your thoughts in a comment down below. Do you have any other secrets or tips or ways that you have found triggers the Upwork algorithm for invitations? I think these are pretty reliable. They're working well. There are people in my Discord server. You can go down, check the description below for the link to the free Discord chat server. People in there are using these same methods, and they are getting results, and they're talking about it in there. And you can see that. Come join us. Work through your freelance problems. We got lots of smart freelancers in there every single day, and we're solving problems. You also have access to Freelance University as soon as you pay me a little bit of cash. You know how it is. But I've tried to keep the price low and affordable in there so that anybody who wants to freelance, wants to get serious about Upwork, wants to get serious about your freelancing, can go in there and take all of my past training. There's like 17 courses covering everything from like copywriting, articles, Upwork, all the stuff. It's all in there. You can get access to that for one low price and start making this money, start doing all of these things, and get additional tips from me, and it's amazing. That's all I have to say for that. Super busy right now, so I'm going to wrap this video up. If you have any questions for me, drop them in a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Lex DeVille, and I will see you next time.